Hello, this is the Anything Goes the podcast. I was going to stop doing that. This is Nitzilla. We're here with Ricky, Crash, and B. And Ricky has a topic for today. Ricky, what's the topic for today?
Oh, jumping right in, buddy. Here we go. I hope you're ready.
Hip deep. Okay, so my topic is we're all part of a game store. We all met from a game store, and that's how we all became friends from that game store. We're all regulars at that game store, but what separates being regulars from a sense of entitlement? What boundaries are there between like regular patrons to like a bar or a game store or such, between people who think that they can go there just because they're entitled to go there?
And I'm interested in this subject. When Ricky pitched it to me, it was at the bar, which we're going to refer to as the bar because we don't have specific permission to refer to the bar by name. And Ricky had it.
What does it rhyme with?
Bloody Liger.
There you go.
So
Cramchester, Connecticut. Yeah. Okay.
Right. It's Lenetic term. So Ricky, what was the specific reason why you wanted to propose
Okay,
this topic?
so at the bar, there
For those at home who don't have video, they're air quoting.
And for those at home who didn't listen to the pregame show, I just lectured these guys on that.
Right.
120 seconds ago, and then proceeded to just do it. So guilty.
Go ahead, Ricky.
What can I tell you? Go ahead, Ricky.
So there, a couple weeks ago, there was a guy whose softball team came in, and at first it was fine, but then he's like, "Oh, can we order a couple pizzas here?" And this was right in front of the cook, and I'm a good friend of the cook, and I kind of took exception to that because you really want to order pizza at a bar that fucking sells food, and to me that
okay. He wasn't ordering it from the bar. He wanted an outside delivery.
Oh yeah, they do this all the goddamn time. They set up shop like outside the bar, like in the back patio. They eat their pizza there. They buy like 3 pitchers of beer, bring it down, and then they refill it from beer from their cars. I've seen them do it. So
okay, that's
entitlement.
Right.
Right. And the point is, though, of when I got there, it was post-incident. And quite frankly, Ricky's lucky he's still being allowed in the bar.
Oh yeah, I pushed it. I'm not gonna lie there.
Yeah. So what happened?
What happened was that I saw the guy go into the kitchen in order to confront the chef, and I stepped in and tried to get him out of there. And then the guy that continued to go, it's like I grabbed a hold of him. He grabbed a hold of me, and then the owner stepped in and is like, "It's fine." And then he came and talked to me later. The owner, whose name is
John.
Rhymes with John, right? That's not
John
Bentley. That's his name.
John
Bentley.
I don't even know what that last name rhymes with, and I don't want to know. It actually does rhyme with John, and it's just a full disclosure, but it's fine. And he didn't do anything wrong, John. So we have no issues with John. John was actually
we have no issues with John. John was actually pretty lenient.
And he likes Ricky, and that's one of the reasons why Ricky is still allowed in the bar, because if it were anybody else, he would have been asked to leave and not return.
So I gotta know, like, they have security there. They have waitresses, they have cooks, they have a manager. Ricky, what made you go in? Like, as soon as you put the hand on somebody, that's it. It's you can go to jail.
Because the cook's a friend of mine.
Yeah,
but was a cook like in danger?
I wasn't sure, but the guy was twice his size.
Mm-hmm.
So what it comes down to is the boundaries, and that's the part of this I found interesting, which is, Ricky's very comfortable there. They all love him there. He goes there every week. But it's not his place to put his hands on anybody at any
Right.
time, and he knows
And I
that.
was told, and I was told that too.
He was told that a number of times in a number of different ways, which is all fine. And we're not really here to blast Ricky about it. We're here to discuss the issue of when you're in a place, what is the proper response to the situation that you're confronted with, which is in this particular place, in this particular time, it's not a very large place. And I'm sure
No.
John would have been all over if his chef was in danger, he would have been all over it very quickly. So, what is the place of the patron who's witnessing the occurrence?
My reaction probably should have been to keep the fuck out of that.
Well, the reaction.
No, I disagree because I've been on the other end of that. Not that I was ordering pizza, but I've been in a place that nobody knows me, and I've seen assholes like mess with other people, and I have a real problem with injustice myself. So I've said stuff, I've stepped up, and I haven't been able to haven't had any physical confrontations with people in like a restaurant or something, but I've certainly seen people being a dick to a waiter or something, and I've said something about it. And I don't have to be a patron to do it. A regular to do it, just a normal patron. So as far as that goes, I don't think you're wrong to stand up for somebody. I do think you're wrong, obviously, to put your hands on somebody. With that being said, obviously, if they got physical, you pretty much all rules are off at that point. But yeah, other than that, I mean, you're allowed to say what you want. In the bar situation's a little bit different because you got alcohol involved, and people are stupid with alcohol on board. So
people are stupid enough without the alcohol.
People are stupid without the alcohol, to be fair.
So once you get the alcohol mixed in, it's a volatile
People
combination.
get really stupid.
But Crash, you have to understand that there's a difference between you barking an order and Ricky trying to intervene. Because if you're there and you say something and somebody looks at you, that's going to pretty much end the situation 99 times out of 100. They're going to be all right.
I'm a fragile butterfly. Everybody knows.
No. Well, they don't know that when
you're
you're
intimidating looking, Crash.
No training, no nothing.
Nobody knows it until you tell them.
Ricky and Crash are both on the bottom of my screen. They have the same beard, the same haircut.
Yeah, they're
What
not
does that have to do with anything?
They're like twins.
Because
That's all I can have. I can't have a beard at work. I got a mirror.
Because when Crash is barking the order, that's a different story. Where Crash is being, we're all being podcast, we're being friendly, we're having a friendly discussion. But if Crash were seeing a friend of his in physical danger and he was barking an order, that would be a different visual than the visual.
Yeah, but how tall are you, Crash?
What's that?
How tall are you?
6'2".
Okay. And I'm like 5'10", so.
Yeah,
that doesn't really, I mean, you got to understand too, though. That doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. But it's like if you're physically strong and people look at you like, oh, like better not mess with that person. They look like they can kick ass. Like they're not gonna mess. Like you can get away with a lot, but if they think that they might be able to bully you around a little bit, they're gonna escalate because now it's fun for them.
That's another. Yeah, bullying is a different. I guess it's not that different because if this guy, you felt like he needed to step up and he was being a bully, then I could.
Well, this guy is absolutely the type of guy that was a bully when he was 13. This is what they grow up into.
Yeah,
that sense of entitlement.
Yeah, I don't play well with bullies.
No, me either. I go full steam ahead at bullies. I don't like them. But again, the difference is the ability to put a bully down if they get loud. That's the difference. Like, I'm not going to get bullied. I don't get bullied anymore. I grew.
I mean, Crash. You and Crash could put someone down. I can't.
That's the is I worry about you because I know that you're passionate about that place. I know that you truly care about the people there and that they do love you there. I mean, that time I met you there, they treat you like gold. And I'm so glad that you found a place like that where you have so many friends. That's awesome. And but again, at the end of the day, if this guy is twice as big as the cook and he's a bully, what do you do if he turns on you?
Yeah, and in
I
this
get ready to take a
situation,
hit.
Ricky might have taken a punch, but he wasn't going to get destroyed. They would have been all over this guy in this
Right.
situation. But if you lose your temper in another situation where you're not so protected, that's going to be a real issue. That's cause for concern.
I've been in that bar. I'm air quoting, by the way, for the audio people. But
The Liger.
I've seen fights break out in there. It can be seedy at times, right, on the weekends. And I've actually been there. Can't remember who I was with, but a bully was there. Actually, I think the guy was trying to bully me actually, and it was really funny. I was just like, dude, just get the hell out of here. So they kicked him out, and he's like, come outside. I'm like, okay, I'll definitely come outside with you if that's what you really want to do. I was like, just get out of here, man. He was drunk and acting stupid. It was me that was trying to bully, and typical 13-year-old, like Todd said. There's a 13-year-old bully that grew up and has a sense of entitlement. Get a little alcohol-fueled aggression behind you, all of a sudden, that's how bar fights start. It's not all about who's the biggest or the strongest. I've seen little guys attack big guys attack little guys, and hell, you never know at that point what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, when I was going for the black belt, I got my ass kicked by a girl. I mean, I couldn't believe it, but it happens. You never know. They're wiry, those women.
But you can get hit. Anybody can get hit. Ricky can punch you in the face and just hit you the wrong way and you'll drop. And that's just human anatomy. You know, it's human anatomy. It's not always the biggest guy. But I think the point where you grab, that's the catalyst for like now you have no ground. Now actually you're in the wrong. If you get your ass kicked, you're still the one going to jail.
That's
Yeah,
the
I believe
problem.
the official phrase for that situation is "it's on."
It's on.
So it was on. So you're just lucky it didn't go
Just
further.
stay out of those situations. Just stay out of those situations. Like let them into entitlement though. To bring it back to like entitlement of when you go to a store, like when we go to the grid, right? I walk right behind the counter and I sit down. Why?
Yeah.
Carl, for 25 years, and it's like actually 27, 28 years, you know, but a regular patron's not just going to do that. Now, it's not that I'm trying to be disrespectful, no, but it's like a home store. It's part of you in some ways. Like he doesn't care that I go sit behind there. He doesn't say, hey, pay for that before you eat it. Or he'll just will settle up afterwards. Sometimes he's like, hey, here you go. You know, so it's like it just comes down to the relationship, I think. You know, if you're the store owner, you have a different set of rules than the common person off the street. Or if you work for a company, you play by a different set of rules, and it's the law of familiarity.
What was explained to Ricky in the moment, because I as I said, I showed up a little bit after the incident, between the time where the incident occurred and the time where Ricky started getting his little talkings to. Ricky knows this, and I'm not saying this to lecture Ricky. I'm saying it for the audience and for B and Crash. The owner was there and he was capable of handling it, and it's his store and he was handling it. Maybe it wasn't happening in the moment quite as quickly as Ricky would have been like, but the fact of the matter is it's John's milieu. This is John's kingdom, and everyone there is there at John's, because he likes to have the business. He's running a business. He wants the people there buying beverages and food and all that. But if he sees his business being threatened, he's going to respond. And he was there, and there was a whole bar of people there. And what I told Ricky and other people, this sort of thing happens in thousands of bars around the country, thousands of times every day. Every day. And the question is, how do you handle it? It can be very frustrating. Like Crash said, sometimes he just has to step in. And I know that Crash uses his judgment and only does it in situations where he feels like it's absolutely necessary. But the fact is, judgment's a very important part of all this, and you have to realize your place. You have to realize where you are in the scheme of things. And even if you are a regular, it's never okay to, you're not the bouncer
Right.
or the
Right.
security, even if you are a regular. Now, Brandon, you'll remember. Oh, hi.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Well,
Okay.
yeah, I don't have the, you gotta come in.
Yeah, we got the green screen. We got an alley drive-by, an alley drive-by.
Yankovic?
Well, yeah, my computer is resetting. It's been at 24% for the last hour. So unfortunately, I have to
24%
do
of
this on
what?
my tablet.
Oh, you're doing this on-
Resetting.
Oh, okay.
I'm factory resetting it.
Factory restore, but it's stuck on 24%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that can't be good. That's my technical knowledge
leaving?
right
All
there.
right.
Text me, you're gonna go bowling.
You're going bowling? All right.
Don't lose her in Solon.
You guys should go play mini golf.
It's a little cold for that, don't you think?
She sucks at mini golf.
Yeah, but it's still a fun thing to do
Yeah.
if it's nice and sunny and 70, not when it's raining and 45.
No, it's
Actually,
raining and cold. I have a space heater on and a sweater on in April. There's something grossly wrong with that.
So B will remember, by the way, for those listening at home, the Grid is a friend of the Anything Goes the podcast, and Carl is a friend of all of ours, and he will be thrilled that we mentioned it. So the Grid and Carl we can mention. Which
yeah, this is that game store. To do more context, this is the game story that Ricky was referencing in the beginning. It started off as a baseball card, and I think gaming was just a minor part of it, but that's the part of that took off.
Yeah,
When 93.
when the game that we've mentioned that we're not going to go too heavily into on this episode called Magic the Gathering, when that came into vogue, it's a collectible trading card game. So somebody figured out, oh, we can have baseball cards, but play games with them. And then that took off an entire industry.
Yeah.
And that's how the Grid took off and morphed into what it is today, and a lot of other stores along with it.
They actually used to have an arcade in there too. They had Mortal Kombat. That's what Mortal Kombat Street Fighter. So that's cool. In middle school, we would walk by, and I never put two and two together that was the same place. We would just go in, play video games, and go home. And then, boom, a couple of years later, Mikey introduced me to the place by cheating his ass off at Magic, by the way. Like, complete scumbaggery what he did. But it got me there, and it got me interested, so it worked. But I can't believe I owe brothers for that. But
So in context of today's topic, B will remember a time when I had a very similar encounter with what can only be described as a bully named Kay. And I was standing at the book rack reading a Choose Your Own Adventure, and Kay, who did not work there, comes over and says, you shouldn't be reading that. And I said, why? He said, well, it's conversion. It's like you're shoplifting. And I said, well, I'm just standing here, I'm waiting to play a game, and I'm just standing here reading. And Kay said, well, you shouldn't be reading that. Again, I should mention Kay does not work there. So I turned to the co-owner and I said, is it all right if I'm here reading this magazine? And he said, it's fine. And I said, well, W said it was fine. And then I continued to read the magazine, and Kay said, well, let's go outside then. Now, this is when B stepped in, because I was ready to go outside, even though I knew I was about to get mauled. Do you remember this, B? Yeah.
yes,
So for those at home, he's shaking his head yes up and down.
yes, that's why I said
Because it's audio.
Go on,
So,
B.
yeah, so I ended up allowing B to escort me over to the gaming table, and he proceeded to play a game with me so that I wouldn't go outside. And then I said, well, I'd like a coffee. I'm going to go to 7-Eleven. And he said, no, you can't go to 7-Eleven. I'm like, I'm not going to let some bully dictate my life. But meanwhile, the whole time, I'm still sitting there playing games with B. I'm not going outside to get destroyed at this point. I thought better of it. I don't know what that makes me, but that's what happened.
no. I gotta say, Todd, you're pretty brave about this stuff, because you've had several occasions where you're like, I'm gonna lose, but I'm going anyway. I mean, I that takes a special set of courage that I wouldn't have with that. Like, I believe that if I do get into a physical altercation, I either have an upper hand every single time, or I at least have like, I've never been in a 50-50 position. I've always been stronger. so I don't care. But I don't like to get in physical altercations. I try to avoid them and then to just break them. Especially my post military, I really can't get into fights, so I get in a lot of trouble if I fight. So, but even then, like if I thought somebody was just gonna be able to maul me, I would probably just sit tight and like, all right, I'm just gonna wait for that person to leave. So it's kind of a weird twisted courage, I think, that you have in that way. Like, hey, you have a kind of a code that you go by, and that's commendable. I don't know if I'd call it intelligent, but it's commendable.
Oh, no, I've been told by, friends, some of which are here tonight, that I'm smart, but for a guy who's ostensibly smart, I do some very, very, very stupid things all the time
You know,
without even knowing why sometimes. And that impulse that Ricky has, that's extended itself to the grid, where I would be sitting there at the grid and somebody would come in and ask a perfectly reasonable question and I would start answering it. But except they're asking the owner, Carl, who does this every day, and I'm in there twice a week, and suddenly I feel the need to step in. It's like, all right, Carl let it go for a while, but eventually it's like, you're here twice a week. I'm here every day. I answer these questions every day. I got this.
And to
I
be
think we
fair,
all done that. I think we all
Ricky's
done that from time to time.
Ricky's like a rabid dog when he sees things going on too. Like I've seen
Yeah,
Ricky. It
yeah.
doesn't matter. Ricky doesn't have a filter with it. He just goes. He's just boom, let's go. And that's, I think, the tough part, because you mean well by it. You do. You mean well.
and the thing is, I've meddled in like the past 10 years. I'm not as easy to anger as I used to be, but I'm still me. So
All right, well, I'm going to give a little speech now, just a little one. I'm actually going to look into the camera for this one, view speaker. Part of why I went into this business is to have a voice and to try to move everyone towards the center a little bit and toward the mellower a little bit. So when Ricky says he's mellowed over the years, it's true. I think we all have, but I think that's what the world needs right now. Just a little bit of a chill pill. A little bit of let's punish Will Smith, but let's not cancel him. I mean, he did a really, really bad thing, and that's part of the boundaries, and we're going to talk about that. That's the news segment because it ties in. But just because we need to, address the issue doesn't mean we need to completely cancel everybody over everything all the time. Let's just ease up on the right-wing propaganda, but let's also ease up on the liberal bleeding heart propaganda. Let's just all be more reasonable and use judgment, people. And
I have something to say.
End rant,
Okay,
go ahead.
I'm all right.
No, hashtag end rant, go ahead.
The only thing I have to say about the left is when I heard that, and I don't know who it was, but said the reason why that he slapped Chris Rock was because of all the years of Black oppression, and it just went to a head at that moment. And I was just like, oh, why do they find every reason to play the race card?
That noted Anglo-Saxon comic Chris Rock might have something to say about having the race card played.
Yeah. I don't even care if he slapped. I don't care if he slapped another Black guy. Oh, he did, didn't he? But who cares? You can't say that's the reason for Black oppression.
When even if a Black guy is slapping a white guy, it can be just about. It can be just about, hey, you dissed my wife, I'm going to slap you. It doesn't have to.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Why can't we just say, here, I got one. Why can't we call a spade a spade?
Well,
you slap somebody because you're standing up for your wife. Was it right? No. Can you blame the guy? I can't blame the guy. And he should have apologized, which I stopped caring after that, but I believe he did apologize.
Eventually.
But like, yeah, I know, but shit happens. I mean, if indeed he truly lost his cool, and by the rant he said afterwards, I tend to think that's true, even if he started laughing it off in the beginning, eventually you get pissed off and you snap. It's human nature. I get it. I dig it. I don't think it's right. I don't think he should have, but I get why he did. And that's really my only opinion on this whole stupid thing. I didn't even know the award show was on until afterwards when I woke up and saw this all over Facebook and everywhere else. It's like, okay, I guess something happened. But
Yep.
that's the extent of my caring.
Well, I didn't watch the Oscars. I have in the past, but I've grown away from award shows. And
Yeah.
my
yeah.
first inkling that anything actually like that happened was like you. I woke up, I look at Facebook, I look at Twitter. Oh, Will Smith did a thing. Every single person, no matter who I followed, sports, podcasting, all different, you know, the female celebrities that I like because they post pictures that I like to see. All of them, everyone had a take on Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Then it was talked about on all the podcasts incessantly that I listened to. The thing that concerns me is he was laughing, Will Smith. He was there laughing in the audience laughing. And then he looks over
Yep.
to his wife, and then she gives him the look. And you can see clearly on the camera that she's giving him the look. And then he gets up and he's like, oh, I got to do something. And I don't think he even knew what he was going to do when he got up, but he gets up, goes on stage, and then that's what he ends up doing.
Yeah, I agree. I think he didn't have a plan, and I think he reacted to his wife more so than what he was actually, you know, what Chris was saying. But I still, even though when it happened, I was laughing in the beginning, I still don't have, I can still understand why at that moment he may have gotten pissed, because you think everything's funny and you're kind of getting roasted. Like, I'm sure Chris Rock's, that was where his heart was. Everybody gets roasted and maybe he crossed the line or whatever. And everybody was cool with it until the look happened.
Mhm.
And then you got to react to that. I get it.
And then obviously the reaction is way over the top. And we're part of this is it's not okay to actually put your hands on a person unless your life is in danger. If you feel like if Ricky goes into that back room and the guy turns on him and starts to attack him, then Ricky has a right to do what he needs to do, whether he's in a bar
right, well,
or what have you.
Well, all right, let's segue into that. What should Will Smith have done and what should Ricky have done?
Well, in this instance, Will Smith looks over to I'm blanking on her name.
Jada.
Jada. And she's completely blameless in all of this because she has the right to react the way she reacted. She's not telling him go beat that man up. She's just like, y'all gonna sit here and listen to this.
Right.
So in that moment, it's not okay for him. What should he have done is a different subject. I have to give that a little bit of thought, but what he shouldn't have done is go up and lay his hands on another man because his life was in danger. His wife's life wasn't in danger. Nobody's life was in danger. Nobody was in danger of any kind of physical anything. It's just words. It's hurtful words. You address it afterwards. You say, hey man, that was too far. This and that. It's in front of a billion people. You don't go beat a man up. You don't even a slap. Even a slap is too much.
If you ever went to a comedy show and you sit up front, the people in the front always get roasted.
Yeah.
Right.
All these comics are roasting each other all the time.
Yeah,
Right.
But they're not roasting necessarily the wife.
Aha. Aha.
pulled up-
You're not roasting the wife.
I got pulled up on stage by a comic and just got annihilated. And
Mhm.
she was cracking up. It was funny, you know? But like, it's a comedian on a stage who's hosting a show. Listen, it's not like somebody's like trying to be nasty and disgusting toward you. Like, it's a comedian. If it's
Right,
not,
but I think you're missing the point because they're only roasting you. If they started roasting your wife in a way that was inappropriate, I mean, that
even G.I. Jane, too. That's all right. Ha ha ha.
Well, no, it's not a very good joke. I mean, that might be
it
part
doesn't
of it.
matter. It doesn't matter what the joke or how good it was.
Here's
It's
how
still-
Will Smith should, well, no, it does. Here's how Will Smith should have gone up, taken the mic and said, y'all got my wife mad at me over that horrible joke.
Yeah, I would be like, come on,
You
man.
roast
Really?
the joke.
Like,
You don't roast, you don't go after Chris Rock, you roast the joke. And it was some writer that wrote the joke. And Chris Rock should know better than to say the joke. Chris Rock, if I'm up there in front of a billion people, I'm going to say whatever the writers tell me to say because I'm going to be
Exactly.
out of my mind nervous. But Chris
Exactly.
Rock should have known better.
only like 50,000 people watch it nowadays. But
Whatever it is, Chris, I would be nervous beyond all end, and I would say exactly what the writer told me to say, or the director, or whoever. But Chris
Right.
Rock should have known better. It's not a very good joke. There's reasons to hurt people. Words are words, and words can hurt people. But I think that words are much easier to get over than actual physical ailments.
All right.
And if you're gonna go for the joke, if it's gonna be a savage joke, at least make it funny.
Yeah, but you're missing the human factor, and hold on, B. I'll get to you. I promise I will. But you're missing the human factor of this, and that is the reaction. You can't, looking behind what you should have, could have done. I get it, but try to put yourself in that situation where someone close to you is getting hurt. Let's
Mhm.
just leave it at that. Emotionally hurt, not physically, emotionally hurt. You're going to want to make it stop. Now, how do you do that? You go up stage and take the mic and you say, hey, now, this isn't very nice. You're going to react like a human being. I get it. Again, I'm not condoning it. I'm just relating to it. But B, what were you going to say?
I mean, when you look at it too, right? It made the biggest news story like of the year. This slap, when we got a lot bigger things going on in the world. But the other thing
Pretty
too
much.
is
That's America.
this is called wealth privilege. And wealth privilege is that you had a man walk up on stage, slap another man in front of millions of people.
Where's
and
security?
Nothing happened. No security, didn't get arrested.
Mhm.
The cops said, oh, we were going to arrest him. I guarantee you, if Crash, you were in the crowd as a spectator and you walked up and you slapped Chris Rock, you'd be in jail for 10 years. So I don't want to hear racial privileges. That's all bullshit, right? If you are wealthy and you are a celebrity, you will get special treatment. The laws work differently.
The part of this subject is the hypocrisy of the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences. The gigantic hypocrisy of every person in that audience who gave a standing ovation an hour later when Will Smith won his Oscar. And now, 24 hours after that, he's a pariah.
He's out, right? He's done.
He's out.
Gone.
But even 24 hours, but if 48
Yep.
to 72 hours after he resigned from the Academy, he's out.
It should.
He
It
did?
should get
Yes.
groupthink works. Groupthink is the most
Mhm.
dangerous thing in the human species. And that's how we develop these terrible social etiquettes that we have, these horrible misdeeds. If it's socially acceptable to do something wrong, and it's okay, and you're seeing it again right now, actually, they're banning in the Boston Marathon, they banned all Russians from entering. All Russian
Yeah.
athletes banned.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like, what is that sounds mighty wrong. Like, you're banning.
I disagree with that 100%. It's military you should be banning, not civilians.
Correct. It shouldn't be the civilians, right? It's not their fight.
Especially
Like,
if they're Russian Americans.
It's ban them if they have a Russian passport. Like, where is the?
Well, not Russian Americans, but Russians that are living here and training here because they want to go to
But-
the marathon. Yeah.
But it's acceptable right now. And why is it acceptable right now?
Well, we're at
Because-
war with Russia, whether it's declared or not.
Sure.
Well, it's the same thing with Muslims and Asians. The Asian flu, the China flu, and any Asian
Mhm.
that was like banned or at least looked down on. It's all, you're absolutely right. If it's socially acceptable to do wrong, then we're in trouble. But it's on both sides of everything.
And you got, Irish need not apply. You have discrimination against. It's just amazing. It goes around all these things. But if you have means in this country, if you are wealthy, you can bypass each and every one of those things. And if you want
That's because you're better. You're a better person.
because you're a better person, you're a higher
Yeah.
class.
You're not long-haired, freaky people that need not apply.
I
No,
believe,
you have-
folks at home, I believe some of this is being said tongue in cheek. I'm not sure exactly.
Holy
You'll have
crap! If
to
you
use
guys
your
don't think it's tongue in cheek, then you need to not be taking a comedic / semi-serious podcast to heart. And you have to realize we're real people. We're not actually in the magic box you're listening to. We're actually somewhere else in the world. And I really have no pity for you.
We're people, we're not experts.
I love the compliment that this is comedic, semi-serious. And I
Well,
think that's a step up.
I threw the semi-serious part in because,
The
You
topic's very serious, actually. The topic is very serious.
no, I dig it, but we're just
But-
saying that as on a comedic
Yeah.
way. Because if you can't laugh at things, then you shouldn't be alive. I mean,
Correct.
just how boring of a life you must have.
everything's about having a sense of humor in all of this too.
And for those who are not, who do take things seriously, I didn't just tell you to go kill yourselves, because I know you can write and like, he hurt my fragile feelings and I need free college. But you know, that's not what I'm saying. Okay. So you can go play with your Play-Doh in your little padded room in your safe space. That's not what I'm saying.
So Brandon
Chill
had
out.
asked me in the past who is our audience, and I'm here to tell you right now that anybody in our audience who has made it 40 minutes into this podcast has a sense of humor.
Fair
That
enough.
was the fastest 40 minutes of my life.
I
I
have
did
an
wanna
idea.
just-
He's right.
I
Go
just
ahead.
wanted to rib the liberal bleeding hearts. That's all I wanted.
Oh, we'll do
They're amazing.
we'll do liberal bleeding hearts, we'll do right-wing nut jobs, we'll do all of that. I'm just trying to, you know, I would like to bring everything just towards reasonableness. That's all. You can have your right-wing conspiracy theories, you can have your left liberal, let's take all the money from the rich people and give it to, you know, whoever thinks they need it. You can take all of that and just move it slightly toward the center. You know, people do need help. Money is important. It's just money isn't everything, and not everybody needs all the help they're claiming. That's all I'm saying.
And I think the majority of people would agree with you, is everybody kind of needs to come a little bit closer to center, but they'd also have to have the ability to have a dialogue, an open mind, and to be able to agree to disagree. And those gifts are very lacking in
You are
generations that aren't ours. Okay. Oh, sorry. I got it out. I'm sorry. But you know, younger generations are so the entitlement, and I bet every generation says close to what I'm saying, but the entitlement of the younger generations is just disgusting. And it's my way or no way, or I'll burn your fucking city down. And that is not the way a free society with free speech should exist. And of course,
And
I
that
think
brings me to another point I had for my topic was of course with the bar, but then with another gaming store that I go to that will not be named, that man,
Is
he
that
knows
the
what I'm
fine
talking about
machine?
with that one.
It rhymes with Wartle.
Yeah. It rhymes with war.
In Anchester, May, Connecticut, K.
Pig Latin is not
Okay.
rhyming.
So
Go
go,
ahead, Rick.
Ricky. What was the topic of the
There was a group of people there who basically think that they can go there and just play games and not actually support the store. And I know that there are people who do that. Like there are people who will go there and like bring their own games and not like buy anything from the store. The
Okay,
store
so
allows
the question
food and
is-
beverages,
the question
so they
is,
bring their own food and beverage.
okay, so the question is, does the owner know about it, and does the owner care?
The
The
owner's friend,
owner knows. Brandon, do you want to take that?
no, the owner's friends with these people. And when I tell Ricky this, I say, look, I was like, the owner's fine with it. He plays games with them. So I said, you can't tell the owner unless your name is on the store. Unfortunately, by you complaining to the guy who owns the store and all of his staff, they're not going to want you there because literally you don't own the place. Now, you as a consumer can choose.
But that's the thing. I haven't complained to them. The only time I've brought it up is when they've spoken to me about it. I haven't complained to them. I've
Okay, so
I've
you've been there,
mused about complaining to them, but I didn't think it'll do any damn good. So I
so
did
you've
it.
been there doing the same thing that they're doing, and someone said something to you, and you're like, well, they're doing it. Is
See,
that what
Ricky
I'm
spent-
hearing?
Ricky spends a lot. So Ricky is a great customer there. He spends a lot of money. Probably one of their best customers.
Mhm.
They don't like Ricky
Hmm.
because Ricky will say something. He'll confront them. Again, Ricky is not afraid to confront anybody about anything. So he's concerned because he's like, hey, these guys, it's all guys. When I say guys, don't worry, people.
Oh my God, I'm so
Crash, I
tired.
saw what you were thinking, Crash. I was respecting their pronouns.
Yeah, we want to respect Crash's sensibilities. You know, we have to make
Yeah.
sure everyone is all inclusive.
So, but I'm like, look, Ricky, I said, it's not your place. I said, if they're sitting there 20, so, all right, when the lockdowns are happening, right, when you couldn't go into a store, they were sitting there playing games. And they're like, we're going to report them to the police. Not Ricky, this wasn't Ricky, but another person who's an ornery What do you call him? A toothless edgelord? You'll
His
figure out
name,
who it is.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm already on it. That's fine.
So said, I'm gonna call the police and get them shut down. Like I said, look, it's the owner's store. If he wants to invite his friends in a they're not patronizing the store. They're just sitting there playing games. I said, who the hell are you to call the police? They're gonna say, oh, okay, you own the store. Thank you. You know, they're not selling alcoholic beverages like the Igerlay was and having like an underground bar. No, he had a couple of his buddies coming in to play games in arguably one of the least constitutional times in the country's history, when you could say everything's got to be locked down, you can't go in public. Screw you. I pay taxes. I'll go in public. If that were my store, I would have you guys in there playing games with me. I can't have the public in there. But I'm a business owner, so if I want to use the property that I pay for, guess what? If the cops came, I'd say you don't have permission to come on my property.
I think you've made your point completely, and how you can go use a loophole to your advantage. Yeah, I get that.
It's just, who cares? It's not your store. If they want to sit there and play board games, if the owner wants them out, which he doesn't, he plays with them. Otherwise, it's not your fight. Go in there, spend your money, play your games, and go.
But
There's more
the
to it
other
than that.
thing too is that I haven't come playing to the owner. Most of my belly aching was to you and those other people.
The toothless edgelord.
Yeah.
And his minions.
And that was just me, and that was me bitching, because guess what? I have a right to bitch, especially when a few years ago someone was harassing them and they blamed me, and I had to talk to the friggin' police.
But
Ricky,
again,
you
that's
talk to the police too often.
I would have
That's
loved to
what-
have been a
that's my
fly on the
point,
wall for that.
is that there's a pattern of this. And the police never get called on me. I walk into places, I walk out. But when you get involved past the line of where you should, there's got to be a boundary of. And Ricky's not wrong. Now, to be fair, I am not picking on Ricky, because Ricky is not wrong in this. These people are toxic. I don't know them personally, but I've seen some texts. I've seen some things happening, and it's not like the most friendly, nice group of people in the world. But again,
they really aren't, and I think they are. That's the killer there. These people think that they're like saints among men, and they really aren't.
I think Crash has been waiting patiently for his turn.
Yeah, go ahead, Crash.
No, I just want to keep it back on track about, the entitlement and patronizing a place for, every length of time. I will say this about some places. I mean, I remember back in the day when it all began, that I love how you said W, but like Wayne's never going to care. But charging a quarter, was it a quarter an hour or something stupid to play games there? It was ridiculous. I mean, I didn't even know any of these guys, and I went and told them how stupid that was. I mean, the whole and Carl knows now. I mean, you're not going to have somebody buying something every time they come in and they're going to play all the time. But when it comes to it, it's, brand loyalty. You're going to go back to that place to buy something you're going, I'd like to believe that in the day and age of Amazon and eBay and everything might be a little different, but
Well, some of this was before that.
Right. But you tend to go back to your base where you feel comfortable, you're loyal, your cheers, if you will, and you're going to keep patronizing that place. So you don't expect to have to buy, a Nutter Butter every time you come in or whatever, or pay your quarter for admission like it's some strip club or something. Although after saying that, I don't think I'd want to go to a strip club with a quarter entrance. But anyway,
Wayne was in a difficult spot too, by the way, since we're using your name, and you're right. I could touch base with him, but I have a suspicion that he would be thrilled rather than angry that his name was being mentioned. Wayne was in a tough spot, and he was under pressure and trying to think of ways of generating more revenue. But
no, I get it, because it was not a store that I'm genuinely surprised and glad the store has lasted as long as it has, but I didn't think it was a model that would take off, and I was glad I was wrong about it. But it was all new to them. It's exactly like you said, Todd. It was all new, and they had to figure something out. I just don't believe that was the way to go about it.
Yeah,
But
people do make
obviously it
mistakes
didn't
in
last.
business.
Yeah, it didn't last, so it's fine. You live and you learn.
Yeah, I mean, when you're trying, the whole thing with these places is you're setting up a sense of community. It was a community where you can go in. There were fights. There were factions. There were all these different things. But to be fair, like everywhere is like that. High schools like that. The workforce is like that. Businesses are like that. Families are like that. So it's called humanity. And
Yes, but did parents call it the den of evil? Because that's what it was referred to, because of the dark arts of Magic the Gathering.
that's true. That's true. But
Okay, so we're gonna,
They're all a bunch of dirty Satan worshippers here, people.
Not me. Conservative not conservative Christian here. So.
That
I'm
was
gonna-
a
loyal,
joke.
but loyal, non-practicing, but loyal Jew. I keep forgetting I was gonna Jew it up a little bit as Nitzilla too. We should have a
Wait.
gathering of the Jews one of these days.
The
That'd be fun.
gathering of the Jews.
Yeah.
What would you call that? Like
Gathering
a
of the
dating site for Jews? What would that be like?
you could just call it the gathering. Like the gathering. Why not?
I
Gathering
was
of the-
considering all sorts of different potential podcast episodes, the gathering of the nuggets, that sort of thing. We've got all of that stuff in the burner. I had an idea for a quick game if you want to try it.
Rocket.
Gaming segment. All right, I'm going to go back to grid view. I'm not going to share my screen for this one. So
We
no
weren't on
cheat-
grid view this whole time?
We were on speaker for the discussion.
You're on for me. Or,
For-
I put you guys on grid view since I logged in here.
yeah,
No,
for
Todd's
all
got
of
the
you,
topper.
for all of
And now
you
I'm
folks,
going.
for all of you folks watching on iTunes and Spotify, this has been grid view this whole speaker view this whole time. All right, so here's the game. I'm going to hit my fast forward button, and then I'm going to hit play, and it's going to be name that tune.
Oh, what
You ready?
genre? Or what do we got? Come on.
It's from
What
my
do we got?
liked song. It's at the Real Nitzilla on Spotify. It's my liked songs list. So I'm
How
gonna
the
hit.
hell? It could be anything.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that band that you saw at a bar, and you're like, hey, can I use your stuff?
It could be. There's some obscurities on here, but mostly it's stuff you guys will have heard. I would say there's 1,900 songs, actually. It's a nice round number. I just saw.
Wow.
I would say that you guys probably know at least 1,800 of the 1,900 songs. So let's try it, see what happens. It could fail miserably because that's what all my games do. So ready?
Yep.
Let's see. All right, well, we'll start with the one that I had queued up. This is the last song I heard yesterday. So this one should be, I'm trying to get the mechanics though of how to do this with the, because you're gonna raise your hand and say your name, and that's who's gonna get the buzz in and answer. Get 1 point for the band, 1 point for the song. Ready? Set, go.
Oh, come on.
Yo.
You have to raise your hand and say your
By
name.
the Village People.
You have to raise your hand and say your name.
Ricky
Ricky is there.
in the Navy by the Village People.
2 points for Ricky. Oh, I should be taking score of some kind here.
Don't
Really?
we
I
take
like
score
the
time?
first song, by the way, on Todd's on Todd's-
No, I hit shuffle.
That was the last song he listened to, so he says.
Yeah, that was the last song that came up on shuffle yesterday during my walk. Okay, so
I swear to God, if it's like in the Navy,
I'm going for Macho Man next. Oh, it's Crash.
Crash.
It's the Beatles. I don't know. Is it Good Morning? I don't know the name of the song.
Technically, the name of the song, according to my Spotify, is Good Morning, Good Morning, but Crash gets credit for 2 points.
Okay.
wow.
And we hit the thing. You guys aren't going to get this. I don't even know how long this intro is.
You're supposed to do it in the middle of the song. No,
I'll give you a clue.
no.
They said the title.
I couldn't really hear it.
You can't
Yeah,
really hear it.
yeah,
I'll
that was
try.
kinda cool.
Okay, I've been playing with this to get the settings right.
Yeah, you got to play somehow play it through the computer. I don't know.
Well,
how
I'm
to do
playing
that.
it through the sound is being picked up through the microphone.
Right, that's
Oh,
the problem.
I put the speaker louder and closer to the microphone. We'll see what happens. That was Love Machine Your Eye Heap. I didn't expect you guys to get that one. I don't even know why. I mean, I like the song, but I don't know what moved me to put it on the like songs playlist.
I got it.
Crash.
The Dream Police by Flavin. I don't know.
Ricky,
Ricky.
Surrender by Cheap Trick.
That is correct.
What?
Freaking guy's a savant.
Oh,
Surrender by Dream Police. I think that's a different song by the same band.
okay.
But if you had named the band Crash, you would have gotten a point at least. But you didn't.
I didn't know.
Thurgood was not.
Ricky's a
You
freaking
would have named it. You named the thing if you did it right.
Next song. I don't think you're going to get the name, but you might get the band. Oh, one summer night.
This song sucks.
It's a great band. This song's a little slow, but it's part of the magnum opus. Memories
no.
of Love, Chicago. I only want to give this song
You can't
one.
pick Chicago. Chicago sucks so hard.
I love Chicago, but I didn't pick
You
it. It's
then-
just the shuffle here.
No, Crash is a heathen, not
Am I
Utah.
not
Out
allowed
of
to have
Chicago,
Chicago
too.
on my like songs list?
I
I think they're tremendous.
Uh,
All right, we'll try a couple more. Oh, this one you should get.
oh, that's Hall & Oates.
I didn't see a hand or a name.
God, that's Hall & Oates.
I didn't hear a name. You have to raise your
Can't
hand.
go for that.
B.
Can't go for that.
Brannon.
Hall & Oates. I don't know the name of the song though.
I'll give Crash a point for I can't go for that, but I'm giving Brandon a point too. You know why? Because when I played Name That Tune on the Rock Solid podcast, I ended up with 2 points I was 16 out of 16. So I know how much that sucks. And I would sit there, right? These guys, that song that Brandon just got in 20 seconds, these guys would have it in like 2 beats. It would be like, do. Hey, I know that one. And I know the entire etymology of the band from A to Z. It was rough.
Yeah, I suck at this game, to be fair. This is like my weakness.
This is another
I'm
one
really
where we
good.
should get the band. And Crash should get the band.
This the beginning? Oh. No, not this one.
Chinatown. You just said it.
Okay, still don't know it.
Thin Lizzy. That's
Yeah,
a
it does
great
sound like a
band.
dim. Yeah, okay.
That's a great band. Oh, you guys are, I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a Meatloaf.
Ricky.
Meatloaf.
Yep,
I would do anything for love.
yep,
No.
but I won't do that.
I
Yeah.
won't do that.
Yep. The previous song was from a band you guys weren't gonna know, so I just skipped right through it. Let's try 2 more.
Sure.
Right
Do as
now,
many as you want.
right now it's yeah, this is actually fun. Maybe with you guys as opposed to the nuts on Rock Solid, maybe I should carefully collate a list a little more, make it classic rock and such. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes up here. The scores are very close, by the way, at the moment. Let's do 2 more.
Oh. I got the artist, I think.
Go ahead.
Is it Lenny Kravitz?
Correct. It's
I
kind
don't
of
know
B.
the song.
Go ahead.
B.
Go ahead.
Lenny
Yeah.
Kravitz. I don't
Shut
know the
up,
name.
B.
I was
You're not
allowing
playing.
it.
You're not
Sorry.
playing fair. I'm gonna take my ball and go home.
Act
Shut up.
down by the
I gave the
rules.
point to Crash B.
I raised my hand. I'm like,
You're technically right.
It's
but
supposed
I
to raise your
decided
hand and say your name.
There's
well,
only,
it's a dumb rule. I break those.
you guys have to remember that some of the old schlubby Todd sometimes comes out, but the Nitzilla and me decided to allow it.
I got a buzzer.
All right, so let's see what happens when we push this button. Oh,
Oh,
Ricky,
Ricky,
Beautiful Girls by David Lee Roth.
damn.
Ricky gets 1 point.
Yeah, it's Van Halen.
Crash
Oh,
gets a point. We have a tie. It's Ricky 5, Crash 5, Brandon 3. We're gonna do a tiebreaker song. Brand B, good effort. You're out.
Listen, I suck. I get 0. Like I stole every answer that I won.
Yeah, you suck. You get nothing.
Good-
do.
you
I
get a
can't. I will never get
You
participation
don't
one.
even get a
trophy.
participation
No, he
ribbon. You
gets
suck.
absolutely gets a participation trophy.
No.
I even get a participation trophy. All right, one more.
you didn't
Let's
do
see. This,
anything.
this is the tiebreaker. You all can just jump in, band or song. First one to jump in gets it. You don't have to say your name or anything. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, God.
This song is the worst.
I love you
I-
just the way you are.
It is. That's what it is by Billy Joel.
I'm sorry, Ricky, what did you say?
I love you just the way you are.
No, completely different song.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
I'm eliminating both of you and naming B the winner for
Come on.
for saying that's a
you
Billy
can't do
Joel
that.
song.
We can't go on a tie. You
What
freaking
was it?
liberal. We can't end on a tie.
All
No,
right,
you can't.
I'm going to jump to 1 minute and 50 seconds of the song. Or yeah, 1 minute and 50 seconds of the song, and then play it from there.
Tuesday afternoon, Moody Blues.
Wrong.
Oh, Babe, I Love You by Styx. Or just Babe. It's Babe by Styx. Bitches.
Ding 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 ding. We have a winner. Crash won. Yay! Yay for Crash.
I like that song.
It's a great song,
I-
gentlemen. I have to go. I have a matchup coming in a minute
okay,
for my
yeah,
league.
this is awesome.
Wish
This
me
is
luck.
great.
I'm
Like a
oh-
Match.com type of thing.
I'm 1-6 right now because I don't have dual lands. I suck.
See what Lance
So
did
I
I
could
need to
probably
is
get you
important.
some.
All right. Hold on a minute.
All right.
Do you have time for the dad joke of the week, Brandon?
Okay,
Oh,
we'll
yes.
close out with the dad joke of the week. That was Ricky's. So
All right,
Ricky,
fair,
dad joke of the
fair.
week.
Hey,
Okay.
dad or bad? Dad?
Go ahead, Ricky. Do
Dad?
the dad joke of the week.
Okay. Why can't the leopard hide?
Why can't a leopard?
He's always
hide?
spotted.
He's always spotted.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
so
heard
bad.
that,
Edit it out.
unfortunately.
That's
That was good.
All right, so 4B, Crash and Ricky. I am Nitzilla at the real Nitzilla on Twitter, Nitzilla at outlook.com for all your business inquiries. Thank you all for your time. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Smorcscribe.
Because it helps. It really helps.
It really, really does. And you know, that's it for now. Thanks all.
All right.
Peace.
Go out back to center now. A
boom.
little closer to center. That's the moral of
A little
today's
close,
story.
please. Love of God, a little closer to center.
Who's
Very good.
closer to center? Am I too?
All right,
am I too
gents,
far to
it's
the-
been
or
fun.
you mean in general?
Life, attitude,
Center.
peace.
It's a great
Closer to
lesson for
center.
us all.
So
Talking-
long,
We're
boys.
still recording, by the way.
I know that's where you're key to like. That's how we go out on it. You know, we say a good moral,
Oh,
Close
yeah,
to
that would have been a
center,
great, yeah, we should talk
and you
about
kind
these
of
things.
just
That would
sort
have
of
been a
go, all
great-
right, cool.
That
Yep,
would have been a great out. That was
Yeah.
perfect. All right.
that was what I was going for. Got to pick up with my cues, buddy.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working.
And
on it.
there's Ricky's ass. Okay, we should definitely end it now. We'll
For you
go
folks
down
listening
to.
at home, that was Ricky's ass. Good night. All right, so
Oh
what are
my
you guys up to?
You're still recording.
No, I hit start. Oh no, I hit stop video. Oh geez, jeepers. Where's the? Oh, here it is. Recording.